Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the unconventional attorney, the owner of CMS Law Firm. Today, I want to talk to you about law firm branding. In particular, what is law firm branding? Before I get to that, though, I want to remind you, if you are not subscribed to the world's greatest law firm owner newsletter of all time, you can do so by going to theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. And you are going to want to be on that list. I'm going to be offering a special Black Friday sanctuary deal, I think. And if you are not on that list, you are not going to know about it. It's going to be killer. So theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. Get on that thing. Even if you don't want to join the sanctuary, the content that I provide in that newsletter is second to none. Okay, let's talk about law firm branding. So in today's, every Friday in the sanctuary, we have a meeting. And today we were talking a little bit about law firm branding. A couple of the members had gone to the CRISP event. I'm sure some of you listening went there. Probably a lot of you listening went there. And they were talking about how one of the themes was this idea, this concept that, big corporate was going to be moving into the law firm sphere in the future, and how do you fight against that? How are you going to fight against sort of this non-attorneys coming into the fold with their money and maybe their business acumen and maybe all these things? And the answer that was sort of provided, the solution that was provided was to brand, and I think I agree with that in some ways, and I just think maybe our definitions of branding might be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about that. There's a reason that I am pretty much zero worried about allowing non-attorneys to own law firms, and it does in many ways come back to brand. For me, what brand means is trust. So when you're talking about branding, you're talking about trust. And one of the examples that I used earlier today was, there's when you think about Apple, when they release a product, you inherently believe that it's going to be good, right? And it has little to do with their advertising, although that doesn't hurt. But every time you've interacted with their products, they typically are great. The tech is great, the functionality is great, they even look great. And so there's a brand to be built both in the advertising sphere and in the service sphere. And this is where you, as a law firm owner, can take advantage of big corp coming in, because they're not going to be able to provide a lot of these opportunities for trust building that you are, which for me means brand. Now, how do we build brand? Actually, let's talk about first what brand is not for me. Okay, this is going to be different, I think, than the messages that you may have received at this conference. For me, brand is not being a household name. Okay, I don't believe that everybody needs to know CMS Law Firm for me to have a strong brand in the estate planning space in my geographic locations. I'm just not that concerned about that. Here's why. People are not buying legal services on the regular, right? Legal services are not something that happens again and again and again for the most part. Like buying electronics, like buying, cereal. Where you want to know these brands are important because you are re-upping toothpaste, right? Commodities for the most part. For legal services, people may only need you one time in their life. They may only need you, or they may need you out of the blue. So having your name on the tip of their tongue is not necessarily important. What is important is a couple things. You do want to be referable, and you do want to be in the space, so you do want to be advertising your brand, but you really want to do so that you can build trust and be present in the moment when people need you, more so than anything else. So for me, branding means creating content. That's like number one for me all the time, right? Brand could be networking, right? It can be some of these other things, but it's creating content, and it is also advertising for me. So when I advertise my content, like on Facebook, for example, people see it everywhere. I have subscribers to YouTube. That's where I'm creating content. I just passed 2,000 subscribers, I think this month. I just looked today, and I have over 2,000 subscribers on my law firm channel, which is pretty cool. And then I advertise on Google for certain things. And what happens is people see that, and I think if they've seen my content in the past, then they are at least familiar with their name, my name. It might get them to click on my ad versus someone else's ad. And then they are into my ecosystem, and my content builds brand, builds trust, builds not loyalty, but just builds a sound connection fast, right away. And it gets people to take that next step. It gets people to book a call with us. It gets people to sign up with us. It gets people to trust us. And then on the back end, brand for me is also fulfilling the promises that we make when someone signs up with our service. Referrals are definitely built on brand, and we have people who come in, they have a great experience, they are treated well by us, things happen in the way that we promised, and people want to talk about good experiences that they've had, particularly when it comes to legal services, because it can seem like an endless void of attorneys out there, all right? So when it comes to brand, when you think law firm and brand, don't necessarily think about Nike, about Apple, about any of these other, big Coca-Cola, any of these other companies that you think of when you think branding. What I want you to think about when you think brand is trust. How can you build trust? How can you create trust? How can you, continue trust over time? For me, that's content. That's what I teach in the sanctuary, amongst other things. And it has worked really, really, really well for me. I can't tell you how well. I can just say really, really, really well. But it is the foundation of my business. I think it should be the foundation of every law firm. And it provides you with stability, with consistent clients. It provides you with everything. So that for me is law firm branding. Hopefully this made sense. If it did, that's great. Hit the like button. If you know someone needs to hear this, please share it with them. If you have a question or comment, let me know. If you're someplace that you can subscribe and you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button so you can get future episodes. And if you're not in the newsletter, like I said, big Black Friday deal should be coming down the pipe here pretty soon, a couple weeks. theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. We'll get that for you. And that's it for today. So as always, I am Christopher Small. I am the unconventional attorney. I am the owner of CMS Law Firm. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.